Hello and welcome. My name's Kato Kane, and this is episode 1 of what I'm hoping will be a long series of awesome episodes. This is Caves of Qud. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is Caves of Qud? Well, according to the website, Caves of Qud is a science fantasy RPG and roguelike epic. It's set in the far future that's a deeply simulated, richly cultured, and rife with sentient plants. And now, if that doesn't get your blood pumping, nothing will. That's, of course, right directly from their website. This is a roguelike game that is, I believe, still in early access. I believe this is in early access. But it's been around for a while now. It's actually going to be full released sometime in 2019, but right now, this is Caves of Qud. Now, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be going over some of the options. Let's take a look at the options screen. Now, what you're looking at right now is the new UI. I'm going to turn it off to let you guys see what the old UI looked like. As you can tell, it looked quite interesting. It's a little easier to read if you've got the new UI on. I'll turn that back on. Anyways, we've got our basics. We got volume, vignette, which kind of changes the way things look, brightness, contrast, full screen, all that good jazz. Now, we're not using music during these playthroughs, mainly because, at least not the in-game music, because I'm not aware of what the copyright or where the copyright sits. So we're going to avoid that problem by just not using it. You've got controls, control mapping, all of that good jazz. This is the overlay UI. It allows mouse input, allows mouse movement, which allows you to click on places in the world and move there. And anyone familiar with roguelikes like TOME or Tales of Magiel or DCSS, Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, will be familiar with mouse input. We can zoom or pan the map. We can also turn on a mini-map. We won't leave that on. Overlay message log. We're going to have the status bar on. That puts a status bar at the top and bottom of the screen. And then they've got touch bars, phone bars for what I assume will be eventual Android and iOS ports. And there's a bunch of other awesome stuff. Overlay inventory screen, overlay trade screen. I haven't used these yet. And these still are very much in pre-release, so I'm not sure where they sit. We may play with them later just to see what they look like. We've got automation stuff. Whenever we're thirsty, we'll automatically drink. And I think it's a good place to go. Automatically save after 5 zone transitions. I think that's fine. Automatically douse or light torches. We can do that ourselves, I think. And automatically disassemble scrap. I will leave that to not. Auto get, auto pickup. These are the auto pickup stuff. This actually could possibly get me in trouble later in the game as we run across like large packs when someone dies, large packs of stuff. But I think we'll leave this as it sits for now. Prompts, I always ask before moving to the world map. I think that's fun. I'll display the list of items during a get, even if there's only one. I'm going to turn both of those on and always ask before auto walking to stairs. I think all of those are pretty okay prompts. User interface, here is some basic stuff. We're not going to turn anything else on, but you can quickly look through here. We've got some colorblind elements, map directions, keyboards, add line separator during each turn of combat. That may be useful. I don't know. Not sure. Anyways, we can add mods. And that can be useful if we were modding. We're not at this point in time, but we may in the future. Basic performance stuff. We're not going to turn any of this on. And they got debug mode, which is kind of like the... it basically allows us to turn permadeath off, allowed save and load commands, enable unfinished and pre-release content, pre-regenerate pre-generate region names. Basically, this is dev stuff. And we're not going to really turn any of it on, just because I don't think I'll need it. But they do say for new players, you might want to turn these allow load and save commands and disable permadeath on, just to keep yourself in the game and help you learn, as well as prompt player to really die before dying. Again, we're not going to turn that on because we're playing this like it's a real roguelike, which it is. We actually have no existing games. There's a high score list. Here's actually my last playthrough. You can see there's a lot of stuff here. I actually was trying to attack the Zealot of the 6 Day Stilts, and did he kill me? I don't think he killed me. I think I killed him on this one. No, I did die to this one. He did kill me on that one. But we got the weekly leaderboard here. Friends, I don't think any of my friends actually play this. Daily leaderboard, and daily friends leaderboard, so on and so forth. Also got help, which is going to be greatly useful if this is your first time playing. Of course, 10 things you should do when you really start playing. This explains what the attributes do. Skills and powers, that explains all that. And this basically is, this help topic is insanely awesome. It basically tells you exactly what you need to know for basically anything. And I highly, highly recommend you read this if you're getting started. Okay, so we went over basically everything that you can do from this screen. So let's get started with a new game. So we've got a bunch of options here. We can create a new character. This is a point-buy system, so we can create a new character from scratch, which is what we will be doing. But let me quickly go over the rest of the stuff. We've got last character, which allows you to play as, of course, the last character you played. In the last world you played, I believe it's the same character, same world. I think. It may not be. It may be random world. Weekly challenge. This is a random character. Random character to you, random seed, but it's actually a set character, set seed, in accordance to whatever the weekly challenge is. And a new challenge starts every Monday. And you can try to complete this. You can attempt to complete this as many times as you'd like for better scores. There's nothing saying you only have to do it once. Same with the daily challenge. As far as I can tell, you can try it as many times as you'd like, and see how far you can get. World Seed allows you to put in a world seed, and it makes a random character within that world seed. So if you have a world you're particularly fond of and you have the world seed for, well, go for it and use it. Go forth and use it, and that'll allow you to play in that with a random character. Random character, I believe this is random character, random world. Completely random. It's good if you just want to get into the game, tinker with stuff. It doesn't really allow you to, customize yourself at the beginning, but it could be useful. It could be useful if you're just wanting to get in, see what the game plays like, and go from there. We are not going to be using that. And of course, you have, lastly, the build library, and I've got one character in the build library, the Freezing Scholar, which I actually ran across randomly, and was really fond of. We're not going to be using him, but just take a look at the screen. Stats here, basic stats. Kind of balanced, except for intelligence is low. This was actually a random character, I think. Freezing Hand, Regeneration, Cryokinesis, and Evil Twin. That was pretty fun. I'll explain what that does when we get there. But anyways, new character. We have two types of characters. We have the Mutated Human and the True Kin. Mutated Human is your basic character. They start moderate stats. And they get to pick mutations, and you get to pick up to 12 points of mutations. And mutations basically, you can give extra arms, extra heads, turtle shell, quills like a porcupine, all sorts of crazy stuff with it, from physical to mental things, including defects like evil twins, myopic, where you can only see a certain range. There's all sorts of crazy stuff. High Kin, or True Kin, does not get any mutations, but they get access to cybernetics. You can actually change yourself as you find cybernetics in the game, and, add mechanical wings, mechanical feet. If you want to replace your arm, and as far as I understand it, you want to replace your arm with a Gatling gun, a minigun, or you can do that. You get extra bonus points for being a true kin, because they are true kin. They are actually, real humans, true humans, not the mutated version. You gain bonus resistances because you are a true human, and you can rebuke robots. Now, rebuking robots is interesting. Rebuking robots means that you can kind of recruit them to your side, which you can't really do as a mutated human, and that can help later in the game. In towards the end game, I hear we haven't made it that far yet. I've played quite a fair bit, about an hour, a couple hours of this game, and I haven't come across any need for that yet. But I'm sure it's quite useful, and the Discord tells me it's quite useful. So we'll keep that in mind. But we're going to play a mutated human, and here's our strengths at 0.5. We have 44 points to spend. We're going to start by balancing everything out. We are believers in the balance. Not really, but we're going to balance everything out really quickly, just because I don't want anything to be kind of terrible or any dump stats. All stats are useful. We're going to quickly go through what everything is. Strength, of course, determines how effectively you penetrate your opponent's armor with your melee attacks, how much damage your melee attacks do, your ability to resist forced movement, so like sliding, being pushed, stuff like that, and it augments your carry capacity. So kind of important for most, especially if you're a newcomer, that's super important stat. Agility helps your accuracy with melee and ranged weapons and your ability to dodge. That's insanely important if you want to hit things, which you, spoiler alert, you do. You have a toughness here, which determines your hit points, your hit point regeneration rate, and your ability to resist poisons and diseases. There are a lot of poisons, a lot of diseases in the game, a lot of ways to die, and toughness is important too. These are kind of, they say, if you're going to pick any stats, pick those stats. Those stats are important. We have intelligence, and we're going to balance those out to 18. We have intelligence, which determines your number of skill points and the ability to examine artifacts. Artifacts are important because we are in the far future. Artifacts are important. They could be something like a vial of something to pump you up or to heal you, to something like a rifle or a gun or a weapon. Or maybe a body part piece that you want. It's just really kind of varied, but this intelligence stat is the stat you want if you're wanting to figure that out. Willpower. That score modifies the cooldowns on your activated abilities, it determines your ability to resist mental attacks, and modifies your hit point regeneration rate. Alongside toughness, this is an important one as well. That's again why I put it at 0. Because we don't want this to be in the negative at all. It's that would be a bad. Ego score determines your potency of mental mutations, your ability to haggle with merchants, and your ability to dominate the wills of other living creatures. We're actually going to lower that to 14. Not saying I don't like to haggle with merchants, because that's going to be important depending on what we want. But we're not going to be using that many mental or beguiling or domination type moves, type abilities, and you'll see once we get to the mutations, we're not going to be using that in this run. We are going to be increasing these guys up a bit, make ourselves a little bit less ego, and more balanced up top. So, let's take a look at the mutations. So we've got 3 morphotypes, and morphotypes basically are the top end. These guys control everything else, right? So we've got the Chimera skill, which, and does it, yeah, okay, so the Chimera, these 3 don't actually tell you what they do. Chimera allows you to only take physical mutations. Physical mutations and physical disabilities, it only allows you to take those, and that's it. Esper allows you to only take mental mutations and defects, which of course we'll get to. An unstable genome is pretty interesting. I'm going to read it off real quick and then kind of explain what it does. You gain an extra mutation, but it doesn't manifest right away. Whenever you gain a level, and every time you gain a level, there's a 32% chance your genome destabilizes, and you get to choose from 3 random mutations. Now, keep in mind, as you play the game, you also get the ability to choose new mutations through the mutation points menu But this gives you random mutations. You have a 33% chance of a random mutation every single level, and it's pretty crazy. You can pretty much end up with some crazy mutations. That isn't a fun thing to use if you're familiar with the game. This is our first playthrough, right? Our first real playthrough for you guys. We're not going to use that because that can get us killed pretty quickly. So let's go through quickly here. We have adrenal control, which regulates our body's release of adrenaline, gives us +5 quickness. We can increase the adrenaline flow by up to 5 grades. Each grade gives us a +10 quickness, +3 chance per round to exhaust ourselves. When we exhaust ourselves, we lose the adrenaline bonus and fall asleep 5 rounds later, and you stay asleep for 5 rounds. Great if you want to pump up and get into action, but it could end up hurting us pretty badly by making us fall asleep. Pretty cool. I don't think we're going to use it. Burrowing claws allows us to dig through walls. Pretty neat. Also gives us a claw penetration bonus of +3. It's a +1 AV, which I believe is part of the attack. I believe no, maybe armor. We can look at the help and actually see what AV means once we get in the game. But you can't wear gloves. No gloves. So you got claws. They're pretty cool, but no gloves. Carapace. -6 DV. I think it's armor value. Armor value. I think that's armor value. Yeah. AV is armor value. DV is dodge value. So you get a +3 to armor value, -6 to DV battle with Carapace, but you gain a heat and cold resistance, and you may tighten your Carapace to double the AV bonus, the armor bonus, but you can't wear armor. So this is your armor, effectively. And you get a bonus reputation to tortoises. So when you meet tortoises or sentient tortoises, you can kind of talk to them. You get a bonus to dealing with those guys. This is like a turtle shell or a snail shell type deal in the Carapace. Carnivorous means you can only eat meat and all of the stuff that goes with that. Corrosive gas generation. This is literally exactly what it says. You release a burst of gas, a corrosive gas for 1 round, and it cools down. The actual ability cools down every 35 rounds. Round is 6 seconds, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Double muscled increases our strength, but makes our move crap. Scan lowers our move speed per turn, and we get a small chance to daze our people. You turn into the Hulk, effectively, if you choose this. It's pretty neat. Electrical generation allows us to discharge electrical attacks at will. We can take up to 4 charges, and we accrue an additional charge every 10 rounds to the maximum, and you do 1d4 damage per charge. If you discharge all 4, that's 44 damage. So, and it will arc. It's like a chain lightning type deal. It's pretty cool if you're wanting to make an electrical type. You want to make Pikachu. This is a good way to do it. Electromagnetic pulse is pretty neat as well. It's a EMP. That's what electromagnetic pulse means, EMP, and it basically will disable nearby artifacts and machines. And it's it's an area of effect. Does hit, as far as I know, it does hit friendly fire. It does hit allies as well. So you just want to be aware of that. Flaming Hands. Flaming Hands sends a jet of fire out of your hand. It's kind of crazy. Heightened Freezing Hands, same thing, except with ice. Both of these are, hand in hand. I prefer Freezing Hands over Flaming Hands because you can freeze the enemy with Freezing Hands, slow them down maybe. Flaming Hands just puts them on fire, which can put everything on fire. Be aware of that. Heightened Hearing, you can hear things lighter. Heightened Quickness makes you faster, less tough. Horns gives you a chance to gore opponents. 2d3 damage, but you get horns on your head like a antelope or a goat. Multiple arms, well, you get more arms. That's basically that. Multiple legs, same deal. More legs. Allows you to move faster, carry more. Night Vision, you can see in the dark. Neat. Phasing, you can phase through solid objects for a brief period of time. It lasts for 7 rounds, and it's got a cooldown of 100 rounds. That's turns you into Shadowcat from X-Men. Pretty neat. We may end up taking that. Photosynthetic skin, this is an important one. You replenish yourself by absorbing sunlight. You can heal. You can eat. Basically eating sunlight. You accrue starch and lignin. You can use ingredients in meals. Basically, it turns you into a plant. You're a walking, talking, balking plant. Quills. This turns you into a porcupine. And is awesome for melee. If you can't wear any armor, but wow, it is quite awesome for melee. Anything attacking you could get wrecked on your quills. And you got 300 quills. You may expel 10% of your quills in a burst. Quills also regenerate every 10 rounds. We may end up taking that regeneration. This is important for first games. Allows you to regrow severed limbs. Allows you to increase your health, and go from there. Sleep gas generation is also just like corrosive gas, except it's sleep gas. Puts things to sleep. Slime glands. You can make slimes. Spinnerets. You can be a spider. Or you can make webs behind you. We've got 3 different types of stingers: confusing, paralyzing venom, and poison venom. These are basically tails. Think the Scorpion from X-Men or Marvel Comics. You can sting things in front of you. Thick fur. Gives you a heat and cold resistance, and it makes the apes like you. Nothing really else of that. Triple jointed gives you better agility, lesser strength, and gives you a better dodge occasionally. Two-headed, you have 2 heads. Mental actions cost 20% less energy, and you have a small chance to shake off a negative mental effect each round. Two-hearted, you get better quickness, worse quickness, better toughness. But it may help your regeneration. And wings, finally, you can travel over 2% or 2 times speed over land. But you have a reduced chance of getting lost. But while outside, you can fly, but you have a 5% chance of falling clumsily to the ground. You also can't wear anything on your back like a cloak or anything. Physical defects. Albino. And of course, you can quickly read if you need to pause. Albino lowers your regeneration. Amphibious makes it where you have to drench yourself in water. Analgesia means you cannot. Analgesia means you cannot feel pain. You don't get an accurate sense of what your health is. You can have a beak. That's the thing. Cold-blooded, which slows you down depending on how hot you are. Brittle bones means you suffer more damage from getting hit with things that may break your bones. Electromagnetic impulse. This is basically the electromagnetic EMP, except it's random. Sometimes it happens, and it kind of sucks. Hemophilia means you bleed faster or bleed more, and you can't stop your bleeding as easily. Hooks for feet. Well, you have hooks for feet. Myopa means you're nearsighted. You can only see up to 4 squares behind you. And spontaneous combustion. That's another thing. So we're not going to be checking any mental mutations or defects, but we're going to go over them quickly. And then hopefully get into the game. We have beguiling. Beguiling allows you to take a creature as your own. Burgeoning allows you to grow random plants. That's absolutely useless. Clairvoyance means you gain vision of a nearby area. Confusion means you can confuse opponents. It says it's not completely implemented at the moment, so keep that in mind. Cryokinesis means you can chill an area with your mind. Domination, which means you can take control of an enemy, like literally take control, where this one allows them to become your friend. This is take control. You can disintegrate something. You can project your force of will onto other creatures. That's neat. Make a force bubble, make a force wall. You can make a fire. You can create light at your will. This allows you to aggregate and steal the powers from other mental users from around you. You can reflect mental attacks back. You can see into the future. You may revert to the point in time where you first used this power. But the duration between the use and reversion is 16 rounds. So you use this at the beginning of a combat, and if you see the combat's going poorly, back it up, and this allows you to see into the future, basically. Psychometry allows you to read the history of archetypes by just touching them, which is pretty cool. Sense psychic means you can sense other psychics around you, psychic enemies. Space-time vortex allows you to create a black hole in front of you to attack enemies. Stunning force is force push. Sunder Mind allows you to break someone's mind. Siphon Them allows you to siphon life force from any other enemies and other creatures. Telepathy allows you to communicate with anyone on the screen. If you can see them, you can communicate with them automatically. Teleportation, you can teleport. It's a blink. Teleport other, you can blink something else. And Temporal Fugue, which allows you to pass back and forth through time, making multiple copies of yourself. That's neat. I haven't thought about using it yet. It's like a clone. We may take a look at that later. Mental defects, you can be amnesiac. Anything you have not seen in the last 20 rounds disappears from your map. That's kind of terrible. Kind of terrifying. Blinking tick, it randomly will teleport you. Evil twin, this puts an evil twin in the world to attack you. Narcolepsy, you randomly fall asleep for up to 29 rounds. And socially repugnant, merchants don't like you. People don't like to be around you. So we're going to close these out. We don't want these. We don't care for these. We're going to take a couple things. One thing I want to take, we're going to go regeneration. We're going to go quills. That puts us with, actually, we're not going to go quills. Go regeneration. That's going to kind of cool. Night vision. I think that's kind of cool too. We're going to go, we got 6 points remaining. What are we going to take? We're going to take... I like heightened quickness, heightened tearing. I think that's a pretty basic setup. We have no more points remaining. We can take a thing, but I'm not going to. This is a fairly basic dude. Okay, so we have a bunch of subclasses, and this is the subclass we can choose to base our class, what you start with. You can be an apostle, plus 2% ego, and some skills, intimidate, paralyze, and tactful, not useful to us. Arconaut, plus agility, you get a gadget inspector, scavenger, spry, you're in your spry, you get dodge and sword blade expertise, and you start with random junk and artifacts. A Greybeard is -1 strength plus 3 willpower. They start with a cudgel proficiency that can berate and are calloused. They're better at berating people and are callous to the world. Gunslinger allows you to start with pistols. It allows you to be good with pistols. Plus 2 agility. Marauder is an axe proficiency. These are your barbarians. Pilgrims are, Mind's Compass means you can see anywhere, any which way automatically. Meditate, Fasting Way, and Iron Mind. Cool. Nomad, you start with Wilderness Lore, Harvestry, Mind's Compass. Again, you're not going to get lost, it doesn't look like. And the Recycling Suit. Scholar, you Gadget Inspector, you can staunch wounds automatically. Heal, that's pretty neat. We're going to want to learn staunch wounds and heal as soon as possible. You start with a random wilderness lore, 2 random wilderness lores. You already know Harvestry, Hurdle, and Tactful. Tinker, that's actually a pretty cool one. You start with plus intelligence. You gain the ability Tinker +1, which means you can take things apart and put them back together. You can build things, and we begin with a random number of artifacts. Warden gives you a plus to strength, plus to block. These are your knights. And you also get bows and rifles. Steady. Water Merchant, do you want to be a salesman? That's one to go for. Watervine Farmer, if you want to be a farmer, start as a farmer who is now an adventurer. That's important. So the one that we're going to be looking at are Arconaut, Tinker, or Warden, and honestly, I'm looking very, very hard at Arconaut here. Short blade expertise, which means we can use daggers pretty well. Gadget Inspector, but Tinker's pretty nice too, but they don't start off with any weapons skills, but we can disassemble, lay mines, gadget, and we can expect gadgets, repair them, and we can build things. Roll a die, roll a die, roll a die, 1d3. We're going to take Tinker. So we have a male human Tinker. That gives us a plus 2 intelligence. We have 17 toughness. Ego's -1. We have 17 hit points. We start with heightened hearing, quickness, and night vision and regeneration. That's a pretty okay. We're going to go random. And this will be the adventure of Caves. I like that name. That's a fun name. Adventures of Caves. Let's get into the game. We're going to start at Joppa, which is the basic town. It's kind of important. You also have random villages in Salt Marsh, Salt Dunes, Salt Desert Canyons, and the hills. These are, if you've played the game a lot and you understand how the game's going, Joppa kind of becomes pretty stale, I guess. So you can start at random villages, and we're going to start at Joppa. So we're going to build the game. And we're going to do a couple things before we end this episode. This episode, which is basically explaining what's going on and explaining what the game is all about. Let's take a little read. On the 17th of Uru-Ux, you arrive at the oasis hamlet of Joppa along the far rim of the Magrai, the Great Salt Desert. All around you, moisture farmers tend to groves of viridian water vine. There are huts wrought from rock salt and brinstock. On the horizon, Qud's jungles strangle chrome steeples and rusted archways to the earth. Further beyond, the fabled spindle rises above the fray and pierces the cloud-ribboned sky. So, this is Joppa. Now, this is what we can see in Joppa. We're not nearsighted, so we don't have any problems seeing. Now, when you enter the game, there are a couple things you want to do at start. We're going to do those. You're going to hear the zealot scream at you. This guy right here is the zealot. The guy in white to our northeast is the zealot. No, you can't see my mouse. And he's going to be screaming random obscenities at us. He does have a quest that we're going to want to check out. And we're going to do that. But first things first, you want to enter a house. There's three chests in Joppa you're going to want to grab. Spacebar is the interact key, so you're going to want to press that. But we're going to want to get in here and just grab everything. So that way we can sell it, because we're going to do that. We're going to grab all of that. And we open the door. Actually, we just do that. And then I'm using my keyboard for this, by the way. We're going to shut this door here, and we're going to interact with this. We're going to take all that. It gives us a bark armor. I don't think the chest is in here. Let's go over here. I think it's right here. It is. And we're going to open this chest, and this gives us a star apple, a club, bent metal sheet, a wooden buckler. Some neat stuff that we're probably going to be using. Now, we have the look key, and I'm going to show you. Here's the zealot. He's got a book we're going to want. That book sells for a lot. And you can attack and kill him without any issues. Well, I say without any issues. You can actually get your hiney beaten. We're going to take a look here, and we're going to put the wooden buckler on. I don't think I have any weapons. Don't have anything. We got a sap mask on, witch wreath, cloth robe. We're going to put the bark armor, which gives us better... it gives us a better ability. A suit of armor made of thick overlapping slabs of hard bark. Weight, it weighs 10 pounds. So what we're going to do is we're not going to remove it. We're going to back out, and we're going to go, and I'm going to show you what these symbols mean. Where are they at? Weapons of armor. The diamond is armor value. The circle is dodge values. So you're going to want to take a look at that. And as you can tell, the armor value is +1, dodge value is -1. So wearing this means we can't dodge, but we can block better. We have a better blocking ability. Do I have anything else I can use? Bronze dagger, bronze mace. We'll go with the bronze mace since that does a base 2 damage instead of a 1 of 2. So we're going to take that. And now we're going to talk to him first. Wanderer, orphan of the salt, hear me. To the north and west, through the great salt desert, the 6th day silt splits the earth in two. Seek there the grandeur of Shekinah, first among fathers. Release yourself from the burden that Chrome bears on your sickly flesh. Go now. I'm going to say intrigues me, which is going to give us the quest. And we're actually going to do one more quest here. I'm in search of work. This is Mehmet. You're going to talk to him every time, and he gives you the Red Rock quest. There's one more quest, a couple more quests we can grab real quick before we end here. We're going to look at this shrine up here. This shrine depicts a significant event in the life of the ancient Sultan Mithridates IV, deep in the wilds of the library aristocracy of Harsisil. The dude discovered Kowar. He befriended worms and helped sack a village and burn its homes to the ground. Wow! What? Wow! So now it's going to tell us to visit Harsisil. As you can tell, now we have a quest to visit Harsisil. So we're going to do that. And we have one more quest to grab before we're done here. It's over here. And effectively, Joppa's always the same. It's the only thing that you can rely on, really. Joppa will always be the same, always have the same starter quests. So you're going to want to do this. Argivive, he's going to be like, give me a knickknack. Now, notice we already have some knickknacks, but we are going to go anyways. We actually got a lot of stuff in our inventory here. Cloth robe, platinum tube, which is an artifact. I don't know if we can look at it. Let's see if we can look at it, examine it. It is a salve injector. That's super important. We actually want to keep that. Data disk, stun grenade. We will learn that. We have some goat jerky, 2 servings of that. We have a star apple, which is nice food. We have a bunch of torches, which will be important as it becomes darker. Here's some scrap that we can disassemble. And we can just disassemble all of it. We are going to disassemble all of it real quick. There we go. We disassembled all the scrap. We have 1 salve injector, which what this does is allows us to heal. Really important. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. We have a salve injector. We have a basic toolkit, and we have 32 drams, which is, I don't know how to explain drams, but that's effectively our money, I guess. But we have 32 drams of fresh water. Basic toolkit, we also have, let's take a look here, increases the likelihood of discovering additional bits while we work. Here's our reputation screen. As you can tell, arachnids hate us, baboons hate us, bears hate us for some reason. The Brood of the Clear Shade hates us. Cannibals hate us, I hope. Cats hate us. What? Okay. Children of Mammon hate us. Consortium of Fitta, they don't care. Crabs hate us. Crabs Mish hate us. I don't know what Crabs Mish is. A couple of cults hate us. Dogs love us. Yay. Fish hate us, apparently. Flock of the Gauntlet and Marigold hate us. Frogs hate us for some reason. The Gersh and Glowrites hate us. Goat folk hate us. Insects hate us. A couple tribes dislike us a lot. Mollusks hate us. Another tribe hates us. Oozes and the Puttas Temple hate us. Puttas Temple, I believe, are like fascists and the pretty evil people. Robots hate us. Roots hate us. Seekers of the Sightless Way. Blind people? What? Snapjaws hate us for some reason. Swine hate us. Trees hate us. Trolls, unshelled reptiles, and urchins hate us. And I'm looking through all the villages. The Joppa villages aren't too fond of us right now. We'll fix that. Vines hate us for some reason, and worms hate us. So that's the thing. Now, I hope going to the Hashashil will help worms not hate us. So we'll see what we can do with that. So, I think that covers the basics of Caves of Qud. When we come back next time, we'll get started on one of the 3 quests we've picked up. We're not going to do 6 Days Still. I think we're going to do finding knickknacks for our guy. We actually have a knickknack, but we're going to go to the east, to the wells, and find him a brand new knickknack, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. And I hope you enjoy it. If you like this video and you like this episode, please hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, click the bell, and I hope to see you next time here on The Verse. Stay awesome, be bright, and I'll see you next time.